Yes, so hello and welcome everybody, and thank you so much for participating in our first AI4Her webinar. Like Millennium said, this initiative is from coming from the women of the GPT-Lab, and our efforts are to make AI accessible for everybody. So before I give my own introduction, I would like to go through the presentation in the beginning, and then we'll introduce our team and me. To begin with, let's see what GPT Lab is in a very short video.
That escalated quickly, didn't it? Well, that's kind of our thing. We are the GPT-Lab. Born in Finland, human-centered, AI-obsessed. Founded in May 2023, we are a large group of professors, postdoctoral researchers, and doctoral researchers. And also thousands of AI agents. So far, we have secured millions in research funding, and we have become one of the largest large language model research groups in Europe.
And we move fast because AI won't wait. We don't stop at theory. We teach, we build, we deploy. Our focus, large language models, generative AI, and software engineering.
We study how AI changes everything from industries to societies.
And we work closely with EU AI Act, helping companies stay compliant, ethical, and future ready. We work hand in hand with companies and universities. We don't just partner, we integrate into your teams.
This is GPT-Lab, a new kind of research team. A launchpad for real-world AI, built by people who care about the humans in the loop.
From Seinäjoki to Ghana, from Tampere to Brazil,
we're growing a global GenAI footprint. We don't do red tape. We build, adapt, and move, with the people shaping what comes next.
We are GPT-Lab.
Yes, so just a second. As you saw, GPT Lab, we are a research group operating at Tampere University's ITC faculty, Information Technology and Communications faculty. We are led by Professor Pekka Abramson, who is our strategic lead, and by Dr. Kai Christian Kemmel, who is our operational lead. We are currently operating in three cities in Finland, Seinäjoki, Pori, and Tampere. Each unit is headed by one of our senior researchers, such as Dr. Mika Sari, Dr. Mohammad Wasim, and Dr. Yussi Rasku. Me here, I play a role in marketing and communication. So I help the researchers to promote their research work and communicate it with the multiple stakeholders outside the academic world as well. As you can see, we are a pretty young research group. We are hardly 2 years old, but we are one of the fastest growing research group in Europe and in Finland itself, where we have now international partners around 5 different countries outside Finland. As you can see, we have over 2 dozens of doctoral researchers, which means that we have been researching in different domains of AI, and you can find more information about that on our website. But I would like to now take a turn and introduce my team who is working behind this initiative. So you have already heard from Millennium, but Ayman, would you like to say something very quickly?
Yes, hello everyone. I am Ayman Asad. I'm working as an AI expert at GPT-Lab. I have recently completed my master's in software, web, and cloud computing from Tampere University. And previously, I was working in a fintech company in Pakistan as a software engineer.
Yes, thank you so much. So Virve unfortunately is not here, but Virve is our marketing manager who also shares the same responsibilities as I do. And then we would move forward with Chalisa. So Dr. Chalisa, would you like to go forward?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Happy to see you all here. I am working for the GPT-Lab and also contributing to the generative artificial intelligence in the business support project. And currently, I am role primarily involved work into the EU AI Act to support the safe environment for AI system, especially for the SME. So I'm very happy to be part of this event. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So Soha, please go ahead.
Hello everyone, my name is Suha Parvez and I am working in GPT-Lab as a researcher. Before joining the lab, I have worked as a data scientist in 2 companies in Finland, and I hold a master's in statistical data analytics from Tampere University.
Thank you. And then Sadia, please go ahead.
Hello everyone, my name is Sadia. I'm currently a researcher at GPT-Lab, where I focus on exploring a low-code platform like N10 to automate business processes and enhance workflow efficiency. I joined GPT-Lab about 2 months ago. Thanks.
Thank you. And I would like to take a step back because we have our super boss here. So Professor Pekka, would you like to say something?
Well, hello everyone. I don't know what super boss means, but it's so great to be here. Very honored also, and I'm happy because such an initiative that Vaishnavi and her team have put together is just a remarkable thing. And I wish that more people will find us in the future. It's a great start. I'm so happy that we have a splendid keynote speaker, and we actually have a special guest here. If I'm the super boss, even Pekka has had other bosses. So we have a Professor Letizia Jakkeri from Norway, who used to be my leader. And so maybe Letizia, you could also say 2 words here in the beginning to greet. And so when I was at NTNU, Letizia was the head of the department. But hey, with these words, I wish all of you a very nice seminar, and I wish the best of success to this great initiative, and I continue supporting it and funding it.
Thank you so much. Yes. Would Professor Letitia like to?
Yes, I wrote something in the chat. I lead a lab in Norway, so a software engineering lab. I put the URL there. And recently we established an NGO that want to become like your AI4Her. And I really hope that I can learn from you and we can do things together. Maybe we can apply for funds together from the commission and exchange ideas. So I am very, very inspired. I must say that Pekka was here 10 years ago, and still some of Pekka ideas helped us. So Pekka, you were here only 2 years, but you had great impact.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Good luck with the keynote and with the seminar. I'm looking forward to learn from you.
Yes. Thank you. So we'll just skip to the end, and we would like to tell the participants that all our work is always published online. So definitely visit our website, and we are very active on LinkedIn. So you can connect with all the team members you saw here and our other team members who aren't here today. And in case if you're interested to working with us, that's still a possibility. So look for opportunities on our LinkedIn channel. Yes. And we will share the presentation at the end of it, but we'll now move to the next segment. So I'll stop the screen share once and then reshare my screen. Yes, so Millennium, back to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Vaishnavi, for the great introduction. And now that you know about GPT-Lab and what we do, we are so excited now. We're going to move to the next part, the amazing part of this session today, which is the keynote speech. And today, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker, who is here joining us from Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, Dr. Hellen Maziku. Dr. Hellen Maziku is a senior lecturer at the College of Information and Communication Technologies, CoICT, at the University of Dar es Salaam. She holds a PhD and master's in computer and information systems engineering from the Tennessee State University. Her research and teaching focuses on cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and human-centered design. She has led and contributed to projects funded by organizations such as the SIDA, IDRC, UNICEF, DHS, UNESCO, and has published widely in leading journals such as the IEEE and elsewhere. Beyond academia, she has led innovative initiatives such as the Youth for Children Innovation Hub at the University of Dar es Salaam, monitoring and mentoring young innovators and fostering collaboration between academia, government, and industry. And today, she is going to be sharing a keynote on how women can lead in AI careers and entrepreneurship. Dr. Hellen, we're so delighted to have you with us today. And now over to you.
Thank you so much. I hope everyone can hear me. Hi,
Yes.
everyone. I am so excited to be here, and it's such an honor. And I will, for the first AI4Her webinar, I'm so privileged to share a keynote, mainly based on my experience as a woman and as a leader. Maybe I can share my screen. Yeah. First of all, thank you so much to Professor Pekka, but to all the organizers of GPT-Lab and for just giving me this opportunity. This is a very good platform to really amplify the voices of women in AI. And I'll just go over, I think my profile has already been shared by Millennium. We'll get to know more about me as we go through the presentation or as we go through the keynote. Thank you so much. So who am I? As Millennium has said, I am a senior lecturer at the University of Dar es Salaam, mainly in the computing department. The University of Dar es Salaam has over 35,000 students, and I'm into one college. I sit in the College of ICT, which is an off-campus. I had my undergraduate from the same university, but then went on to Tennessee State University in the US to do my master's and PhD. My master's concentration area was mainly machine learning and distributed network measurements. It was mainly for auditing of cloud auditing. And then my PhD was mainly in cybersecurity, but with a bit of AI in it. So I've transitioned to actually work into these two areas, AI and cybersecurity. And as we can see later, these relate so well. And I'm also currently a gender focal point at the university because we have so many colleges, over 16. So each college has got to have a focal point who raises awareness on gender issues, the university harassment, sexual harassment policy, and anything, just raising awareness on gender to all students, especially the ones that we enroll in the first year, and especially reporting mechanisms. So I thought before I move to speak more about AI, and I just would give you a lens of my own classroom. So just last semester, I taught two subjects. I always teach cybersecurity and AI. And as you can see, my cybersecurity class, which I teach for all undergraduate students who are pursuing ICT-related courses, I had 222 students. And out of these, only 66 were females. So this is a 42%. As compared to a master's, we have a master's of data science, and I teach big data analytics. And out of these 42 students in the last semester, this year, 5 were female. Actually, I went back and recounted. I said, are they only 5? So yes, they're actually 5. And then that's 12%. And as you can, so I do, because of the growing number of students and supervision, so we tend to have a bigger load of supervision of masters and PhD. So I have 18 PhD and master's students doing mainly AI and cybersecurity. And out of these, only 4 are female. I have 2 PhDs and 2 masters who are females. They're all doing areas of AI. So this gets to show that starting from me, myself, and my area of work, we already have an issue. So again, more about what I do. So currently, I'm a UNESCO Organization for Women Scientists in Developing Countries Fellow. I'm mainly doing, my research is AI-enabled cybersecurity for critical infrastructures. So this is a build-up of the work that I was doing with the earlier grant, last year's grant from the AI4D or IDRC Early Career Researcher. We were just from COVID-19, and there was a lot of distributed workforces, and this was increasing the attack surface. And so there was a lot of cybersecurity incidents, and I wanted, and mainly advanced persistent threats. So I wanted to actually detect and predict and actually do a data set collection for advanced persistent threats, APTs, especially in developing countries, and come up with a tool to help our sectors, critical sectors here that we have. So that we were able to collect a data set from one of the critical infrastructures, critical sectors here, the Communication Authority, and then we're able to, actually 2 months ago, we were able to actually present the tool to them, and we are actually improving the tool as we speak that they can use. So after getting a lot of interest in this area, I went and applied for the UNESCO WSD fellowship and now moved up to critical infrastructures. And we'll see why this is very, very important. We just presented, we completed the presentation at the Arua African Research Alliance for African Universities. We call it Arua in Kampala, where we present our preliminary work in threat modeling of one of the critical infrastructures. And we are now moving to the dataset collection and the AI modeling part. So mainly my students are either cybersecurity. The supervision that I support is either cybersecurity or artificial intelligence. And you can see I just sampled some of these, of the 18. So we have a student dropout using Ensemble, who actually has graduated with his PhD and is a staff. And then we also have HP prevalence forecasting. And so it's diverse. It moves from LLM evaluation. We have food security prediction. Then we have NLP, as you can see, for Kiswahili, which is a low resource language. And then there's a student who just got enrolled right now in master's and is looking at bias mitigation in our algorithms. And then also the rest is at cybersecurity, which I really want to walk into. So the last part, I have 3 arms. The last arm is human-centered design. I'm a design thinking enthusiast, and why, and we shall see later in the keynote, is I believe that the solutions that we come up with, whether it's AI, whether it's cybersecurity, whether it's in computing, they should really help and solve problems in our societies, especially as we're living in developing countries. So I'm a certified design thinking coach at the Design Thinking School in University of Cape Town. And through this, I've been able to actually involve societies to actually share their pain points and what they're going on and how technology can really help them. So we've done this mainly in health sector and especially immunization, because we work with partners like UNICEF, the Johns Hopkins program here for health, we call it JPIAGO, and MDH. So FDH is also, I think it's management and development for health. So these are global partners, and these are the areas of focus. So we try to integrate with us, especially to create social behavioral change in these solutions. If there's maybe an outbreak, maybe a Marburg or cholera outbreak, how can AI really assist in rapid assessment? And how can people really, benefit from this AI through digital engagements? So I'm very, very passionate about this area. Yeah. So maybe, yes, now let's go to our focus, or the main mission that we have really founded AI4Her for. And underrepresentation of women in AI, and this is a crisis. And I believe most of us know that this is a crisis. I just want to shed a light on how much this is a crisis. So from the global scale, studies have shown that only 22% of AI professionals are women. And when I was reading, I saw that, for example, for the EU, they have published that only 16% of AI skilled individuals are women. But then the study also shows that those with 10 plus years of experience are only 12%. So as you go technical more, as you go, as you seek more experience, as technicality deepens, women drop off. And then also, since I'm into academia and research, only for 14% of authors in major AI avenues are women. So this is just showing that having something that's 22% coming below 12%, 10%, or even for my students, as you can see, from undergraduate to masters, they kind of drop away. So just one moment. So we also have just the usage. Now that was technical, like the career, but now even just using, women are actually using generative AI or AI are benefiting from it less than men. So in 2023, only 11% of women actually used these GenAI tools compared to 2024, which is 33%, but still that's lagging behind, you know. So as you can see that while everyone is really trying to adopt AI and use AI, women are lagging behind, and this constrains women from opportunities. That means they can't have experience, they can't take up leadership roles in these major AI environments. This was a study by Deloitte, and this is mainly for women. They surveyed women in the United States. So maybe somebody may ask, why is this important, really? You know, as long as, you know, we have people going to school, it doesn't matter. Why should we have a focus lens on women? Okay, somebody could say equity is the fair way. Somebody could say maybe underrepresentation is unfair, but it's not only unfair. If it was just unfair, that would have been okay. But it's dangerous. It's not good for innovation. It's not good for equity, and it's not good for development of our society. As we can see, I'm going to give at least 3 reasons why, if we don't include women, or if we don't really close the gap of women in AI, these are the things that we might really go through as challenges. Even in the poster that AI4Her had given out, they talked about bias. Yes, bias is real, and bias amplification is real. So in a study, I think it's Science Direct study with Zhu and the colleagues, they published that LLMs and chatbots now are gendered biases due to training data reflecting stereotypes. So if you maybe women are represented as, or maybe they are seen as the roles that they can take up, emotional roles, you know. So maybe roles that are not really technical compared to men who have shown that they are associated with roles that are analytical, maybe leadership oriented, as compared to women. And even when you prompt for an image, maybe a woman, you're going to get maybe some tilting face like that. You know, you're going to get like someone smiling, and then, like, you know, just because there was bias in training the corpus imbalance into these data sets. So it's showing through the results. And then as also in the decision, so what does this mean? So in the decision systems, this can affect, having this, it can affect, because we're using these AI tools to actually automate hiring, you know, in diagnostics, in policing, and even in loans, you know, evaluate who can get a loan versus who. You know, for the informal sector, and for us, especially in developing countries, women are bound to be left out, because the AI decides based on the skewed data or stereotypic data that it received. So the other disadvantage that we can see is innovation loss. Gender diverse AI teams, as you can see, a study by Tasnim in 2025, just this year, that they did a study and they realized that teams that had they were gender diverse produced higher code quality compared to teams that were not gender diverse. Because why? If if women voices are absent, the range of problems addressed, that means they amplify, especially, for example, during data collection, and this makes innovation narrow because you only have a one perspective, or you have a narrowed perspective. At maybe three version perspective versus 8 version perspective. That is important. And then in domains such as healthcare, agriculture, or education, especially for us in developing countries, women often bring lived experiences of their problems. So especially in maternal health, informal markets. So these cannot be designed, or they cannot be brainstormed by genders that have not lived these experiences. So if they are excluded, so the designs or the outputs, the models may not really capture the lived experiences of these women. So, and when they are missing, solutions may ignore crucial context and then produce one-fits-all men tools. So, in economic and societal inequities, so with all these examples that I have given, if we continue to allow this to continue, this status quo, then inequalities will widen. In health, in finance, in every sector really, because the tools that are being used are actually biased. So as you can see, without women in AI governance, policy frameworks fail to account for gendered impacts. So we fail to account for mobility, digital safety, caregiving roles, informal employment, especially in low resource contexts. So this was a study that was done by Strathmore University that realized that without inclusion of women, then in the decision support systems and in these sectors and the AI governance really lacks the women inputs. So why are we really focused on making sure that we address these challenges? What is so much about AI? Why is AI so important? I think we all know this because everyone is using AI. I believe everyone is using AI. So I'll just use this one slide to just give a glimpse, just a little glimpse of how AI is reshaping work. So a study done by Chen and the colleagues on 450 developers that are using GitHub Copilot realized that those that were using GitHub Copilot completed their tasks 55% faster than the others that were not using. And then that gave them, higher throughput, they were able to accomplish many jobs and stuff like that. So margin was faster compared to others. And so most of the tasks now, they focus their strength or their focus, their intellect on designing of these systems, the architecting of them, integrating the systems, as compared to others who are just doing work that could have been helped with AI. So for job transformation, the ILO 2025 index has reported that 1 in 4 jobs globally will be transformed by GenAI. It's not really replacement. It's rather transformed. Now we are looking into prompt engineering. We're looking into data quality analysts, So now the problem is no longer, job unemployment. It's now transition management. How can our job workforce or our workforce really transition? I was happy to read that countries like Finland, Singapore already have the reskilling framework that really is helping, you know, organizations cope with this, you know, AI literacy, you know, and then also being able to build capacity on human AI collaboration. So this is very, very important because most people will tell you my job will be taken up by AI. No, it is the transformation. Actually, it is the job being transitioned. So the other thing that we can look at is the enterprise adoption. So 78% of organizations use AI in 2024. So this is compared to 55% that used AI in 2023. So now as we shall see in the bottom up change, organizations are not waiting for framework and policies anymore. They're just using it. Workers are using the term bring your own AI. So it's like I'll just use my Copilot, Gemini. I'm going to use ChatGPT to summarize my meetings, notes, and do all this. I'm not going to wait for the organization to actually put this in place. So this shows how much AI is really, really needed and people are using it. Okay, these are just more examples which I really will not go into. I think I'll just look into maybe I can look into the finance one and the first one, the healthcare one. So, for example, in the US, they've regulated and legalized over 1,200 AI-enabled health devices to do diagnostics, for example, in radiology, oncology, and other areas. So this is now organizations and countries are moving from prototypes in the lab, you know, prototypes of AI models, and people are actually taking them in mainstream and using them, you know, because like they can't wait anymore. It's important and it's timely right now. Okay. Yeah. So what does this really mean for women? What does this really mean for women? This disruptive emerging technology that we are seeing affecting the whole globe, from developed to developing countries. What does it really mean, you know? So it means that women really we have to invest in this. It is very, very important, especially in the core technical, you know, as we have seen. I think there's a study that shows that, I think we'll see later, that women, even those who tend to adopt AI, they go into, you know, HR, you know, legal, they don't really go into the technical domain. So we need to do things like what AI4Her is doing to actually raise the interests for these women to actually pursue, you know, and gain skills in AI from the core technical, for example, like just, you know, Python, you know, how to use these GenAI tools, machine learning operations, but then also we need to really prepare women to understand what skills complement AI skills. You know, skills like I talked about human-centered design, skills like systems thinking, skills like analytical thinking, because when these are paired with AI, then the impact becomes more because we can reach to our communities and we can explain to them, we can hear their voices, and then we can design things that are desirable for our communities. And then also, not because I'm in cybersecurity, but we've seen that as AI grows, cybersecurity also becomes a bigger concern. Privacy, you know, safety, ethics. So we need more cybersecurity assurance analysts. So these two are coupled and they go hand in hand. Machine learning, adversarial testing, you know, privacy preserving machine learning. So model risk management, we need this to go hand in hand, even for us as women, you know. And then domain, and just talk about the risk and everything, you know. Most of the risks and the safety issues and the violences studies have shown that they really affect women. So now imagine if they're amplified by AI, you know. So, and then also we ought to encourage women to find domains in which they can contribute, whether it is health, whether it is, I don't know, agriculture, whereby they can become experts and they can they can be valuable in those domains, and their voices can be incorporated. So this is just a continuation of my last slide, that these are practical ways. For example, we can do assessments, we can do mappings to show how many women are using these tools, you know, whether in their workspaces or whether in their homes, you know, also if there's need to build capacity, like how we are going to do today after this keynote. Then also we need to encourage women to also move to assurance and governance, because that's also very important. Evaluate these models, come up with policies, because as the studies show, this is a very high demand, these are high demand jobs. And also, it's important for women to also build a public footprint. Women tend to shy away from, digital content creation, you know, putting themselves out there, maybe because of the history and everything. But we need to encourage women and create safe spaces whereby they can contribute to open source, they can publish guides, you know, they can compete in challenges, and they can speak at meetups and things like that. I have a few, I don't know how my time is going, but I have a few examples of women that are doing well. I know there are very many that are doing well. I just sampled some few. And I can start with Selena, who is the co-founder and CEO of Zindi Africa, because I've used Zindi. I have submitted challenges on Zindi. And I always tell my students that if I'm teaching, you have to enroll on Zindi, because it has data sets. You can try, you can learn. So it is something that seeing that it's a woman who is actually, you know, championing this is very, very good. So apart from Selena, by the people have also found jobs there. It's only, there are leaderboards of who are doing well based on challenges submitted by governments, you know, by organizations, but then also people have found jobs. And then also let me talk about Daniela, who is the co-founder of Anthropic. You know, being the co-founder really didn't catch my eye that much as what she's really championing trustworthy and constitutional AI leadership. You know, making sure that the AI tools that we come up with, the LLMs, are ethical. You know, and they're constitutional. It's just not output driven or oriented. It's ethical oriented or driven. Yes. So maybe the rest, I'll not talk about them, and I'll move to leadership and inclusion. Why women's leadership matters. Women's leadership matters because, I think this is just a summary of what we've talked about. We've talked about how diverse teams produce better code quality. We've talked about how women champion women, like I think that's Daniela, champion ethical AI transparency and sensitivity. And there are many. For example, all these women that I sampled out, either they'll be championed. For example, there's one who actually made Amazon, AWS, and Google and all this actually revise their facial recognition frameworks because they were very biased. So that kind of influence and that kind of impact, that is what we are talking about when women take leadership roles. Then women will help us propel inclusion, you know, so that everybody is represented on the table. And then, yeah, so leadership gap. Women hold only 30% of the overall leadership roles in AI, according to Russell Reynolds. And then, as I said, 10% of these just take up CEO technology jobs, and the rest will really go for the other kind of roles. So leadership is not about knowing every line of code. It's about asking whose problem we are solving. And I think women can really help us in this, and we ought to empower women, or we ought to raise awareness in their inclusion. So to conclude this keynote, what can I say? I can say that the story of AI is still being written. We've seen, we're just at inception. Everybody's trying to find fit their way into this. So we are writing this story. So now what I'm trying to say is AI will not be truly intelligent until it learns from everyone. When I say everyone, this includes women. That's when we can really truly confidently say we have intelligent AI, not as participants in technology, these women, but as architects of its future. So we need to create a space for just like AI4Her, whereby women can be educated and mentored. I'm happy that in the grant from the UNESCO OWSD, we've had an opportunity to actually take AI into schools, secondary schools. We're only starting with 6 schools. The government has approved, but we feel like starting from the grassroots, women need to, just like for STEM, they need to really be taught from the beginning, because studies have shown that the cultural norms and the stereotypes and the barriers that are affecting these women, they start from the grassroots, really. They are not up here. So if we go and tap them from the beginning, that is really going to be very impactful. We'll be able to get more at the top. And then we need to advocate demand inclusion, just like how we are doing right now, have champions who can speak more about this, and then collaborate. So build partnerships. I'm happy that I was invited. I come from Tanzania, and I'm invited to give a keynote on this. So this shows that this is open for collaboration. And so we need to really promote collaboration between academia, industry, and government. There are so many things we talked about in the Arua in Kampala, over 26 universities across the world, and research networks. We talked about how this link, the pipeline of collaboration, just somehow breaks somewhere, especially in AI. So we need to really enforce this collaboration. What are the priority areas of the government? What are the priorities of the industry? But what are the priorities of the academia? How can we come together to have sustainable AI that starts from capacitating these students to them then being of impact when they go to the industry, or when they employ themselves, really? And then occupy decision-making roles in labs, startups, and policy councils, just like how we are doing GPT-Lab and how we are doing in AI4Her. I commend you for the work that you are doing, and I am very, very, very fortunate and privileged to give this keynote. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Hellen. Thank you for this amazing and inspiring, powerful keynote. You have really highlighted some of the very important aspects, from sharing your story to giving us real example on how we as women can actually practically enter into the AI field. And I believe participants here are also inspired. And now I would like to open the floor for at least one question, because we have to go for a short break. So I'd like to offer 1 minute to someone who has a question from the audience or a comment, anything you'd like to say from the keynote. This is the time. Anyone from the audience, just unmute your mic. You can proceed.
If nobody else has a question, I have a question and a comment. I am very inspired by your lecture. I didn't know about Zindi, so I was already trying to see it, and I see it as a wonderful possibility. I will ask you the question that my old professor was also asking me all the time when I was young, like you. He was telling me, if you had 5 million Norwegian krone, what would you do? So now I ask you, if you had 5 million euro or $5 million, how would you invest this money to achieve the beautiful goals that you tell us?
That's a very, very good question, because in the study that I presented at the Arua, I showed that one of the driving challenges in AI adoption is actually limited funding. So you giving me that money, that would be very, very, very nice. I think this money will be invested, first of all, I'll speak from perspective of developing countries. You know, I stand here because I've been empowered. Let's not underscore the work that's being done by IDRC, AI4D, OWSD. They've given me a voice to actually do my research with the best that I can do. I have 4 children, so sometimes it's not straightforward, but they've given in the grant that they give us, you can even have a media person to assist you, can have data collectors. So I think I'll spend a bit of this money to actually open a platform for women who can be supported to actually, either from career researchers to, you know, doctoral trainings, you know, to anything, even those who want to start, who want to, what can I say, experiment their AI tools. You know, that's where actually my second funding will go there. We need AI startups that are women championed. And now women shy away from even just being called founder or co-founder. So I'll spend a bit of this money to be able to encourage these women, whatever idea they have, to incubate it, you know, to commercialize it, and to make sure that it actually gets to be used, you know. And then the other part I'll use, this will assist everyone. In Africa especially, we have issues of infrastructure and data collection when it comes to AI. So, and our policies also, they're contradicting. We can't use these public domains or public cloud structures. So I think that's where the other funding will go to. Where can we have infrastructures that women can actually go up to, build models, tear them down, you know, do pipelines and stuff like that. We need especially students and stuff like a lab. It could be a lab, it could be whatever, but exactly what GPT-Lab is doing actually. So I'll just give more money to GPT-Lab. So yeah, so that is part of what I'll be doing, but also raise awareness more and more, go to schools, do this, and just make them love, you know, this area. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Leticia, for an amazing question. You actually had us thinking of it. I was here thinking, if I had that money, what would I do? Yeah, a lot of things have been running in my brain.
Thank you for those who are here now. We are going to look at the practical Gen AI tool. And our speaker is from, you have already met her in the beginning. So she's from GPT-Lab Tampere University. Please welcome Ayman Khan. She is our AI expert who specializes in RAG. She has recently completed her master's at Tampere University alongside working at GPT-Lab. Also worked on several projects with the companies, and you can definitely connect with her on LinkedIn because she's super cool and she would definitely like to meet you guys as well. So I will give the floor to Ayman.
Great. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just share my screen. And are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me present it. Okay, and you are able to see it in the presenter mode as well. Perfect. Okay, so hello everyone once again, and welcome to AI4Her. I'm truly delighted to see women from across the world joining us today, and a big thank you to Dr. Hellen for beautifully setting the stage for women empowerment in terms of leadership and innovation. And now I would want you to imagine this for a moment, that it's a busy Monday morning, you are juggling with emails, planning your week, or maybe investigating your production tickets. Perhaps you have a business idea, which is a skincare brand, a social campaign, or a digital service. Or maybe you are applying for a job or finishing an assignment, doing research, or helping your child with homework. Now imagine, instead of doing all of this alone, you have a digital partner with you. And you open your laptop, you simply ask, help me brand my name, design me a logo, explain me the regulations to operate this, draft this pitch, or even plan me a launch strategy. And within minutes, not hours, not a day, but just within minutes, your idea has a voice, it has a look and a plan. That's the power of AI. It's a helping hand and a bridge when opportunities feel just out of reach, especially as a woman. And that is something we wanted to leave you with. And here's what I want to highlight, that generative AI is not replacing creativity, as Helen said, that it is basically amplifying it, and we want to take it that way. Okay, so here's what 55 minutes together will look like. And just before that, I didn't know I would have an introduction, so I put my picture right there popping out. So you already see that it's me, so I will skip that. And you can also see that we are a mixed room here. There are students, there are professionals, there are researchers, and mostly there are beginners and intermediate. And you guys almost wanted everything out of me. So I'll stick basically to no and low code approach, and I will try to make it practical, fast, and interactive. So here's a roadmap. We will basically explore three powerful ideas. One is prompt engineering. So it's about how you can talk to AI very effectively. Then there are autonomous agents, which are AIs that can act, they can reason on your behalf. And then there are agentic workflows. So how these tools can basically connect together to form very powerful systems. After that, we will get into the breakout decisions where you will apply what you have learned to your own field, whether it's marketing, entrepreneurship, education. And then we will be concluding here, where each team will present their work. And here's a short reminder that this is not about learning code, it's about learning possibility. And what you really need is curiosity, which is the willingness to experiment, to ask questions, and to see how these tools can work for you. Okay, so the segment one is prompt engineering. It's about talking to AI with intent. So basically, prompt is a set of instruction or an input that you give to a pre-trained model and you want an output. So prompt engineering is basically you craft effective prompts, and these are instructions, input, or queries, and they guide the generative model to have a desired outcome. So the output could be multimodal. This could be text, images, videos, sound, and code. And all in all, you can basically get rid of fine tuning or reg by simply using this technique that you use a task specific instruction, and this will modify the model efficiency without basically modifying the model parameters or fine tuning it or regging it. Here's a framework that I have for you to remember how to basically construct a effective prompt. It's task, context, references, evaluate, and iterate. And for those of you like me who have goldfish memory to remember this, you can have it this way, that the creative recipe every innovator needs. So first you define what you want the AI to do. And it is advisable to give that AI a persona. Then you ground those to what is the context, what is the example. For example, hey, act as a brand ambassador, and the context is my product, my this. And then you want it to improve by iterations. So you review and you tweak. So that is, you evaluate and you iterate. Now, that was the 5-step loop, and I will just try to make your muscle memory about prompting. It's you give the model a role, right? You say that, okay, act as this. You state the goal, which is basically your task, your facts, your audience, your constraints. You provide the product details or the tone, the length format. This all goes into the context. Then you add references, which could be the snippets, this could be the docs, this could be the links to your past writing or brand invoices. This could be your data analysis techniques, this could be your data itself. And then you evaluate that what is missing in the response. And finally, you iterate, you change the context, constraints, you paraphrase it, you add examples. And to make this a stick, we will basically build everything around one scenario that we will revisit in agents and workflows as well. That is Luna Loop. So meet Luna Loop. It's a woman-led micro business selling eco-friendly handmade accessories launching in online, and the audience is our women who are from 18 to 13. The target is Instagram and TikTok first. The goal is that we will have a 3-day launch plan. The caption is set. The voice will be warm, confident, and inclusive. And here I have a constraint as well. So this is just a made-up scenario. And I want to give you an example here. This is a TCREI, which was the loop in action. So you have a bad prompt, a better and best example. And I would like to quickly showcase you this. For example, I have this prompt and I'm giving it to an AI model. And it will take some time. Meanwhile, I'll copy the other one. Okay, so here you see I basically asked write social posts for my brand, and I haven't attached anything. The AI itself is asking me for what is your brand about? What is your platform? What is your goal? That's simply you are talking out of nowhere. And then I have a better prompt that you have to act as a social strategist. There are 3 posts for eco accessories. The tone should be friendly and it should have hashtags. Note that I haven't had context here and I haven't had my constraints here. And here it gives me 3 posts. First is that, okay, a style that gives back. Hey, earth flowers, and this is a caption for my Instagram post. Then it has made with purpose. Then it has your daily dose of green glam. And it is more enhanced as compared to the first one. Now here is the best prompt. You see I have a role. I have given it a senior social analyst. I have created a task for it. And I have given the context that my audience is women. That's the age. This is the tone I want. I want sustainability, affordability, and that I have given the references that you should keep this tone as this. And then there are some constraints that I also applied, that it must be less than 3. There should be relevant hashtags, this, and then an output format as well. So here, if I prompt my model, you will simply see that as we go from better to bad to better, the more enhanced the prompt is, the more enhanced the responses are. So it really, prompt engineering really helps you get the desired outcome and ground it towards what you want. And here you have a table. It is more illustrated. You have you have a day 1 campaign, you have a caption for it, you have a day 2 campaign, a caption for it, day 2, 3, and this. And this is what I wanted to showcase in terms of prompting as a technique. Okay, now let's say we have a answer here, and then we have another move, which was in the TCR. The fourth thing was to iterate like a pro. Like you evaluate, was there something that you didn't like? And then you iterate your query accordingly to that. For example, there are fast 4 moves to iterate. First is that you add and adjust the context. So you say, that the audience are, I just wanted to, for a specific audience, or the tone is very, for example, it's very hypey, it's very hyping my product, the facts are incorrect. It's one way to get more desired outcomes. You can also break the instructions into sentences that are smaller, and the shorter the sentences, the more it's finer for the model to understand your instructions. You can basically rephrase and analyze it. That is basically you tell a story you ask it to basically tell a story, to pitch it as a friend, or to make it in a storytelling way. And then you put some constraint, for example, length, style, structure, and do and don'ts list. So let's evaluate this. And I see that, okay, this is a very hypey tone, and I want to iterate it. I just say, revise this. And then it will revise its outcome as per I am saying. So that was the point of starting with good prompting. Two things to remember here is multimodality and responsible use. So multimodality allows you to send images, videos, sound, and code, and it grounds your outcome on that specific source that you are providing. And for example, we can also prompt it that refine day one and use this product image and do this. Now it will ground its answer to the specific product image. But what is here for you to remember is that AI models hallucinate. So hallucinate is basically when a tool provides you output that are inconsistent and incorrect and even nonsensical. A great example of this is for you those of you are researcher, if you ask a question to a model, it will ground it to publications that never exist. That is basically hallucinations. And then there are biases. Since we know that AI models are trained on black box data, we don't know where the data came from, we don't know what the output is. That is why, as Hellen mentioned there is biases that are present in the content that includes race, gender, and a great example of this was that the training data in one model had basically biased against Black women, and they removed the terminologies Black, and but it was trained enough to recognize the African names in the model and to basically rank it in certain way. So these are present in whatever models you're using because these are open source or proprietary based. So the measure is basically you evaluate the suitability, which is you ensure that AI fits the task and it does not reinforce any harmful bias to anybody else, to anyone who is using your models, who is using your agents, and the models you're using themselves. Then you get approval because the data that you are feeding into the models is what they are also being trained on. For example, GPT mentions that it doesn't use the data, but if in terms it's private and to your company, you should get approval in that regards. You should protect privacy. You should use secure tools that doesn't help you expose sensitive data, and then you validate the output. So it's nicer to have a human in a loop to basically validate the outputs it's generating when it comes to sensitive data. And you be transparent. So there are regulations for EU AI Act. There are regulations for how to use and implement AI. What categories fall into the projects that shouldn't be implemented? What things you must not be doing, and be transparent to your team, to your clients that this is how I am using AI in whatever task I'm doing. Now, here is a one-page prompt card. What you should remember from the past is the TCREI loop, that is task, context, references, evaluate, and iterate loop. You start with a role plus task, you load the context, you add the references, you force format and give constraints, then you evaluate and iterate. And I have a task for you all. So scan this QR code and you will be able to land into a Mentimeter page. You replace the Luna loop context with basically four things. You either write a prompt to create a pitch presentation, you write a prompt to build a website, or you write a prompt to generate a promo video or any ad, or a prompt to make a music. Follow the instructions and submit your answers to the Mentimeter. And we will take about 1 to 2 minutes for that. Okay, I see one where I prominently see the constraint. And it's that I am located in Tanzania. Interesting. How do you? Perfect. Let's see your prompts working in action. So I am picking this one, which says that you are a professional video editor. Create a short script and schedule for a trailer video for AI initiative. Wait, just a second. And then there is one. Nobody writes something about music. Do you guys not want it? Okay, then maybe. Do we need to start a voting? And what prompt do you guys want the AI to work in?
Sure.
I have opened the voting. And then we will see how it works. Okay. So I'm taking one of the prompt which says, you are a young change maker, passionate about technology and youth empowerment in Africa. Create a short documentary style video showcasing how effective artificial intelligence is driving youth-led innovation. Okay, I see that it has a role, it has a task, it has a context as well, and it primarily said it doesn't have a constraint here, but it's okay. Let's use this on one of an AI tool that I want you to present. I can basically start with create. I can go to our GenAI studio and let's see how well your prompt works. Was it an ad? Let's say it's a Okay, so we is basically an AI tool that uses a text and converts your prompt to a video that you can use for it's there that you can use for social media purposes. And that's just to show how powerfully it could work and it could assist you in generating something, merely an idea out of words in few seconds. And can you guys hear the voice of this?
No, I think you need to reshare with the audio.
Just a second.
In Africa, I'm passionate about youth and the power of technology to change lives. As a young change maker in Africa, I'm passionate about youth empowerment. Artificial intelligence is at the forefront of this revolution. It's driving innovation and creativity among young people like us. From apps that solve local problems to platforms that connect us globally, AI is transforming our ideas into reality. Join me as we explore how youth-led initiatives are shaping our future. Together, we can harness technology to create lasting change.
Okay. I don't know if if this excites you as much as it excites me, but you see, out of a prompt, it creates the video, it writes the script, it grounds it on your prompt, and it generates the complete video within seconds. Let's move to another prompt. So here's a prompt that says, build a website for AI4Her that empowers Pakistani women in AI constraint use only free open source tools. This is this. And let's copy this to another tool, which is basically Lovable. It's another AI tool that helps you build website. And that is, again, out of prompts. You can basically work more on it. And if you have a development background, you can have plugins, you can use it locally, you can connect MCPs for it to work. Let's cite our prompt here and see how well it works. And I will try to take more prompts for quickly. One is for music. I don't see anyone for music, so I already have a music there. And then for presentation, I can show that the prompt I have provided it here. So I provided it something saying that how AI could help you work, present a presentation for the AI women empowerments, and that was my pitch to it.
There is actually a second prompt about the act as a storyteller coach with 5 slides presentation. Can we try with that? For the presentation, yeah.
Okay, perfect. We can go with this one as well. I can just simply paste in a text. This is my text. There are multiple options. So you can attach your documents here. You can have your note. You can have your manuscripts, your transcripts, and then I will continue generating the presentation from here. Let's see what's the website that they built. They asked me some questions, and it will take some time to build the exercise. But let's move to a song. So I prompt Sono, that's another AI application that generates video, that basically generates music out of simply your text prompt. And I say, act as a music composer, lyricist, and creative director, create an original theme song titled as AI4Her that celebrates women empowerment, curiosity, and innovation. The goal is you should inspire women from diverse backgrounds. And then I give it's a mood and a genre. So this is basically the references. I am setting that the tone, there's a goal, and then there is how it must act. And then it generated me a music. Are you guys able to hear it?
She's got a spark. A wire inside, a coat of dreams she won't hide. Building.
So this again is a complete package of songs that it gives for my preview version as well. But then again, all the music, the composition, the direction was done by AI completely in itself within few seconds, within just a prompt. We have our website there as well. It is, I believe, SEO optimizable, but it is something to start with. You prompt it, you give it an idea, and this is your mock-up or your design that you can present to your investors, to your presentators, to whoever wants to see this. Then there is Gamma, and we provided it in another way. It asks some other questions. And since I'm running out of time, just to showcase you these tools, but it asks you for the...
Yeah, just go ahead and generate. And meanwhile, I think there's one question in the audience for you.
Okay, sure. So you can choose what type you want. You can automate it, and you can just simply generate it. And these tools are really for you to explore. These are literally from just one prompts. And you can see it takes, I think it takes the same prompt. Did I took the same prompt?
Yeah.
Okay. And here it is building you a complete presentation, a complete pitch deck out of just a good prompt. I think I can take a question here, and then I will move towards my next segment.
Yeah.
I'm very, very inspired. Thank you very much. My question is about how do you choose these tools, and if you pay the licenses for these tools, because I'm imagining that if I organize a similar workshop and I say now we use Gamma, I wonder, yes, should I buy the license? Should I ask the people who participate that they should buy the license to be able to participate? So how do you deal with this license and payment of the license question?
Okay. I think that's very good questions, because these tools do have like plans. it has a pro plan, it has a beginner plan that is free to use for some tokens. So all of this, what I'm showing, is completely free. I basically registered it with my Google account, or you can register it with my Microsoft account. And for the demo purposes, you can use their free trial. I think almost all of the AI tools have their free plan version until they are not something extraordinary. And those you can use in your presentations, or you can also or if you want your audience to try it, they can also use it for free for maybe like 20 days. Some of those depends upon the token they are using for the models. Some of them has a pro plan, and it depends, it varies. But this was just to show you the power of a good prompt. And here's what I want, wait, just
Yes. Meanwhile, Ayman switches the topic. So, do you have something?
Yes, for the music that was generated, I wanted to ask, so like, is it like music that is like completely new that does not exist in the world and it's like copyright free that we can use anywhere?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is completely free. It's basically, it doesn't, there is a training model, and that obviously have some sort of data from across the website, and that is what we claim. But the music that came out of it was entirely from the model itself. So it doesn't have any copyright issues. It doesn't have any composition issues. This was completely done by AI and the app that I showed. So, yeah, do you have another question?
No, I was just going back to Professor Leticia's question because we have been doing this for now a year almost in our different courses. We provide students with access, like you said, if you have to plan something. So usually it is like the duration of how long do you want to train the student or the attendance. For example, most of these platforms that we are showing right now, they have either token-based free usage or they have days-based free usage. For example, 7 days, 15 days. So until then, we usually we show how it goes and what all things can be possible using those tools. And beyond that, then it's of course the choice of the student. And for us, sometimes if it's a longer course, let's say we also have courses which run for 3 months, we provide access to the platforms that will be used in the course via the project fundings. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for answering that question, Vaishnavi. And since I'm on a constraint of time, I really want to speed this up. We have some advanced prompting techniques. So it's I just showed you the basic level, and this is something which is a step ahead of how well you want your desired outputs to be. Number first is what you do is you basically guide how the AI could think, how the AI would reason, how the AI would come to your desired input in multiple steps. So it's not one single prompt that you are giving, it's an iteration of steps. And these are basically the advanced prompt techniques, the same ones used by AI professionals and researchers, and they help you design multi-step conversation and reasoning flows, not just one-shot answers. So for example, prompt chaining turns the AI into your collaborator. And instead of one messy prompt, you guide it through a small, smart steps. Like each output becomes the seed of the next. And just like how we brainstorm with a colleague. So here's an example. You say that summarize Luna Loop's mission in one sentence. Now you create 3 taglines. Now you choose the best tagline, and then you generate a plan. It's an iterative loop. It's not just one chunk of prompt. And other is chain of thought. This is like basically a brainstorming with 3 of your colleagues at once or more colleagues at once. So the AI can basically offer you multiple creative directions, and then you pick the one that fits for your vision and then iterate it on deeper. So for example, here I'm saying that you are a marketing analyst. Explain your reasoning steps by step to design an influencer strategy for Luna Loop and equate this and end with a summary plan. So it will give you a step-by-step execution, and it will detail you about the reasoning, and then it will come with a summary of that response, and then you can also alter it according to what you pick, what you like. Then there's tree of thoughts. This is basically again in a way that you chunk those prompts into each, and then you branch from one prompt to have a very desired outcome from one similar prompt and then other. So for example, here you say that imagine there is a social media strategist pitching ideas for Lunar Loop launch. Each expert shares one concept and reasoning behind it. And then you compare it, each of the experts share its response, and then you compare which one you want to go with. And this is also useful for your decision making and your logic, how you build your logic and how AI is building its logic about your system. Then there is meta prompting. It's basically you are asking the AI to generate the prompt for you. So you say the AI that you are the prompt engineer now, help me design the next instruction. And it basically saves you time, and sometimes it also sparks new directions. So for example, here's thing that helped me write an effective prompt to generate a 1-minute example planner, a video script about Luna Loop's economical friendly products. The output should include the role, text, context, tone, and format. And I would have put it each in the GPT to show you how it works, but you can also try it with GPT-5 since I'm running out of time. Now here is a list of, here's just a cheat sheet that there are thousands of AI tools out there that works on prompts. You have AI chatbots. These are proprietary ones as well, and these are open source ones as well. There, you can see there, I just showed you Gamma. There are many for your AI presentations. Similarly, if you are a developer, you have coding assistants. There is Cursor AI. There is Copilot that I have been using. There is basically Kudu, that is also a nice one if you are coding. Then there are email assistants. All of these are, you see, these are the repetitive, redundant tasks that you are doing day over day, and you don't know that there are AI tools there that can reduce your time, and they can simply help you automate those things. Two of the most important I want to mention here are the AI workflow automation ones and the AI data visualization ones. I think the next, as said, the next gen code language is not Python or not C#, it's English. So how good you are in your prompts. And then one big important chunk is the data you are giving. So there are AI tools that help you do the data visualization. They help you to do the data analysis, and these are really powerful. The other ones we will be talking about N8N, but there are others for AI workflow automations, and we will go forward to them as well. So let's move forward to autonomous agents. AI agents, they're basically a digital teammate. You have an AI agent which has a specialized persona, and you want it to do your task autonomously. What does that mean is it can access tools, it can access memory, it can have access to database, and it will do all the tasks without any human in the loop. And for example, there is a marketing agent here. It plans your campaigns, write your posts. There is a coding agent. It writes and tests the snippets. It coaches you with a personalized feedback. Then there is your tutor agent. It simulates lessons or quizzes. And then here is a 5-way step that you want to build any AI agent. Number one is you give it a persona, like a prompt engineer. Then you give it a context, for example, what world or the situation it's in. Then you give it a task, what it should do. Then you give it rules and stop phrase. So these are basically constraints where it should stop, because these will be working autonomously. And then there is a feedback and summary. You would want your AI to evaluate its own answer, so you can reflect to the takeaways. Now, there are some core components when you build these agents. Number first is models. I can go in depth, but there are like open source model and proprietary models, and there are specific models that are specific for tasks. For example, if you see instruct models, they are specific for the question and answering. There are code models that are specific for codes. So it's important to choose what models you're choosing for your specific task. Then there are tools. I think one of the most empowering thing in terms of AI agent is providing the tools. there are frameworks that have already integrated tools, but now we have APIs that allow them to integrate with whatever platform you can do. Then there is knowledge and memory, which is reg. That you can provide your document, your company document, your assignments, your research plans, anything in that memory. Then the thing that they have modality, and then there must be some guardrails to not let it run away anywhere. And here I want you, there are many agent types, but two main are the simulation agents and expert feedback agents. Let's call it Agent Sim and Agent X. So as Agent Sim, the AI basically a role player. It practice, it reflect, it improves, and you simply, for example, the one I showed in the Luna loop. The second one is an expert agent, and it evaluates, and it is a critique, it is a consultant, it is a mentor of what your AI is already producing. So you have two scenarios where one is just complementing you to do tasks, and one is evaluating you, how well you are performing. And here I want to just quickly take you in, sorry, to show you where you can go for it. So this is ChatGPT platform. There are many. There are Google Gemini platforms. There are Llama models that you can make. Those are open source, and this is something you can access from a dashboard. If you go to, for example, I log in and I start with agent. This is a simple chat where I just show you that you can write your prompts. And then this is agent builder. There are already multiple agents that are custom made. No, that are basically made by GPT, and then you can also make your custom made. And here you can see if I start writing the agent, this goes, you can name your agent. These are the instructions that I just told, that what steps you must follow to make those instructions. There is basically, okay. So you can have your model, you can select which model you can choose. It also depends upon what plan you are using. Then there are tools. Simply you have to, this file search is to attach your documents for grounding that, and for retrieval augmented generation. There is web search. It basically searches the whole web. There is code interpreter. You can also integrate more MCP servers, but this is through an interface, and this is very beginner friendly if you want. Then for model parameters, this is something ahead of it. So temperature, max token, and top P are the parameters where you set the diversity of your response, and where you set the how much. For example, if I reduce the value of top P, I'm saying that this is my prompt, and I don't want my AI to be creative. I want it to be exactly grounded on what documents I am providing. Similarly, for temperature, you set the temperatures as how you want the model to be concise to what you are providing. And these are all the settings you can do to simply generate your prompt just through a dashboard. There is no code included here. And they can do this. I will show, where was my, okay, was it? Yeah. And then agentic workflows. I just want to show this. It is basically then you make all the agents, and you build agentic collaborators. I will move here to init. This is basically, you have to, I just want to show you that you can start with the execution step. It could be any trigger. So for example, for my launch plan, you can have a trigger day by day. And then I have two agents here. I'm using the ChatGPT model. I have made the agent same way. I've given access it to a simple memory. Then this is a prompt model, and it generates an audio. Now this is an automatic workflow, and I just execute this, and it will give me an input, which is my execution plan in an audio. You can do it similarly in a way that you can have an Insta plugin, or your LinkedIn plugin, or your socials plugin in it, where you can generate videos out of it. And this was just to show you an idea of how the agentic workflows work. And here you can see I have an output where I can download, and it is basically an audio of all the launch plan I wanted out of it. And now I would want to, sorry, I would want to move towards an exercise. I know this one is a bit hard and it would take time for you to learn, but we have divided you all into breakout rooms. Here you can scan, it will take you to a Padlet form. You have to, yes. So you can basically write effective prompt. You can design a use case and you present a very minimal agentic workflow irrespective to your domain in whichever groups you are. You will write a effective prompt, an AI agent, and the agentic workflows you see that agents must be implementing. For example, I said that built an AI study buddy that helps women students summarize lecture, generate flashcards, and track process. There is a prompt, there is an agent, and then there is a workflow. And if you are able to scan this, you will land into this page. And here, Vaishnavi, you can take over where they can give their responses and maybe try. And there is a bonus point. If you want to try any of the tools that we showcase, you can write it here and tell us how was it working with you.